What's up, friends? In this video I'm going to share with you guys my top tips on how to stay motivated to diet. So first off, I felt like it was appropriate timing to do this video because I tend to go through these periods, every couple months I will put on a little bit of weight, I'll get a little bit off track. And so I've been back on my diet a couple weeks, lost about 5 pounds. But I just wanted to share my tips and insights on what has helped me personally, because there is so much information there on different diets and what works and what doesn't work. But the big problem for most people, 90% of it is mindset, is the motivation, all of that. That's where people really struggle. So tip number 1, first, do not rely on willpower. Willpower, motivation alone is not going to keep you on track. Your body is genetically, biologically designed, evolved to conserve energy, aka fat. And so you are going to need some strategy to beat that. So kind of all my tips I'm going to give here really falls under the advice of do more of what works and do less of what doesn't. But first off, before anything else, is just know why. Why do you want to diet? Why do you want to lose weight? Do you want to feel healthier? Do you want to feel lighter on your feet? Do you want to just feel better in your own skin when you look in the mirror? Do you want to feel more confident? Make sure that you have a vision that actually motivates you, that inspires you a little bit, because dieting for the sake of losing weight to lose weight is not a motivating goal. Okay, so back to doing more of what works, less of what doesn't. So many people when they're dieting go straight to all the different things you have to cut out. You have to cut out the sugars, cut out all the good Chinese takeout and fast food and Subway and stuff. You love Taco Bell. And yes, you are going to have to cut some foods out. But find foods that you like. Find healthy foods that you enjoy. If you don't know any foods that you enjoy, then experiment. Try things out. And this is going to take some trial and error. If you haven't had a lot of success dieting in the past, you're going to have to try some things. See what you like, see what you enjoy, see what's at least a little bit more bearable. And some things your taste buds will adjust with time. I used to hate avocado and spinach. Now those are like my 2 favorite power superfoods of all time. And you know what? If you have a go-to meal, something that's really healthy, if you enjoy it, that's okay if you want to eat it 5, 6, 7 days of the week. If you have something that works for you, that works for your diet. Next, understand yourself. Okay, example. So if I know that if I eat 1 cookie, that's gonna lead to 2 and 3, and next thing I've eaten all 15 cookies, then I'm gonna know to avoid cookies. Or if you know that certain environments, if watching TV is where you're gonna find yourself eating 6 bags of potato chips or splurging on all the tub of ice cream, then I'm gonna avoid those situations. If stressful situations is what cause you to craving. And that's the thing for me personally, it's usually not hunger. It's all usually on the cravings or not as much actual physical hunger. I can go 18 hours, I can go a full day without being really hungry. But what happens, middle of the day, it's 1, 2 p.m., my stomach's growling because to get really stressed. I need a break. So what I'll do is I will go downstairs. I've talked about this in other videos. I do a Wim Hof breathing session with 15 minutes of meditation. See my other video for that. But by the time that I've done that, I realize, I'm not actually hungry. I'm just stressed and craving sugar, craving anything to release the tension in my brain and my body. And that's the thing, is so much of eating is an emotional thing. It's not as much of a physical hunger, need for more energy. So much of it is based off of cues and triggers. What are your cues and triggers? What makes you hungriest? When do you feel hungriest? when you crave sugar or the fast foods and stuff most. As much as you can, hack that, reverse it, change the cue, avoid the cue. So another part of knowing yourself is, and this is the biggest piece of advice I can probably give, is knowing what motivates you, what gets you going, what gets you to enjoy dieting. And I wish I knew this before, because I was all just willpower. You know, when I first started dieting, I would just force myself to eat the oatmeal, even though oatmeal I thought was so gross. Now I like oatmeal. But what motivates you? Okay, and for one thing for me, that really motivates me is visualizing, imagining. There's so much research behind what visualization actually does to help reform positive beliefs in your mind, which I think is so powerful for diet. But when I'm visualizing myself, I'll take maybe a couple minutes of the day when I'm dieting to visualize what's it gonna feel like when I'm at that ideal weight, that ideal fitness. If I'm doing my handstands or different breakdance power moves or calisthenics, what's that gonna feel when I'm so light, I'm feeling so good, my arms are super toned? What's gonna be different? How much stronger will I feel? And that motivation carries with me. Or another thing that motivates me personally is listening to podcasts, videos, reading books, audio material on diet. When I'm listening to other people talking about diet, what's worked for them, what doesn't work for them, what certain diets do, what others don't, it helps me remember, hey, I actually really enjoy dieting. I mean, it's something I'm passionate about. I love learning about. Now, it may not be the same thing for you. Maybe visualizing or learning on the same thing for you, but try to recognize when, if you've dieted in the past, if you felt most motivated, when have you felt most motivated? Try to replicate that again. Try to set that up as a cue, a pattern, a habit, so you can feel that motivation on a regular or daily basis. Because again, if not, the worst thing in the world is just leave it to willpower, because your body's naturally gonna want to conserve and store energy and do these things that, with the processed junk and processed carbs and sugars and stuff that are so readily available, it is so easy, if we're not on our guard, to just completely go off track. So these are my biggest tips, pieces of advice. Know yourself, practice different things, figure out, analyze, and if you've dieted several times before and had several failures and only 2 victories where you reached your goals, analyze those. What didn't work? I mean, write a list of these things. What didn't work? What did work? And take some encouragement from knowing, okay, if you didn't actually feel really motivated, feel really good, and enjoy the diet until 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks in, then realize it, that you're going through the worst and the hardest part of it. Realize, if you're having a hard time, realize, okay, all I have to focus is today. I don't have to focus about tomorrow, next day, after that. All I have to do is today, and today is as bad as it's gonna get. And if you can go through that, then that can take you so far. So guys, these are my tips, things that have worked for me to stay motivated. Let me know in the comment what helps you guys to stay motivated to diet. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned and stay motivated. Peace.